What's up everyone, Federico here. Today I'm gonna talk about and let you listen to the newest STL Tonehub packs that STL Tones has just released for the platform. In fact, I just got the Zakk Cervini pack, the Soldano SLO100 and the Mesa Dual Rectifier pack, and I'm gonna test them on the mix session of Cemetery Drive's cover of Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. I think since Zakk Cervini produced a ton of pop-punk and alternative rock bands such as 5 Seconds of Summer, Blink-182, Good Charlotte, Water Parks and All Time Low, this will be the perfect session to try these packs on. My initial idea for this video was to just scroll through the presets from the 3 packs and pick the ones that I like the most and build the mix from scratch, but I realized that may be pretty boring, so instead I just build the mix myself and I will go through all the tracks and say why I picked those tones, what I think about the packs. This is not actually the original mix that was released for this cover because I mixed it when these packs were not released yet. I used the John Feldman pack, which also sounds great by the way, on the original mix. And of course I did some processing and some EQ, but in this video I won't do any processing and EQ, I won't add any plugins to the guitar and bass, so you know exactly what tones you're getting when buying these packs. I will still scroll through all the bass and guitar presets at the end of this video, but first of all I wanted to walk you through the tones I picked for this mix to give you a little bit of context and to let you know what you can do with these 3 guitar preset packs. But before we do that, I wanted to show you this update in the STL Tonehub software. You can now select the amp packs, so I guess they will release more amp packs, which is pretty cool. You can select the artist packs, and you can also add packs to favorites. It's very easy. You can just go here on the left, click the heart icon, and then you will find them new favorites. So very easy to do, and I think moving on while they release new packs, this will be a very handy feature. So let's hear how the mix sounds like. By the way, this is all STL Tonehub, no EQ, no processing at all on the guitars and bass, it's just the presets. There's only my mastering chain on, of course, in the project. Alright, so let me show you the tones I picked for this mix. First of all, the main rhythm guitar tone is from the Zakk Cervini pack, it's number 12, Bad Kitty. And if we solo it, it sounds like this. I didn't want to use a super high gain tone because I would lose too much clarity and definition. I also layered the main rhythm guitar tone with a light crunch, cleanish guitar tone, which is this one. This one instead comes from the Soldano pack, as you can see, and together they sound like this. The effect is quite subtle and it basically extends the low mids and makes the guitar sound a bit wider. So when I mute it, you'll hear that the mix kinda shrinks a little bit. It just makes the guitar a bit more dynamic and wide. So moving on to the octave tracks. On these ones I use the SLO100 mid-gain preset number 6. Nothing to point out here really, this was just the one that sounded cleanest and widest to me. And finally, I use the Mega Dual Rack preset number 22, which is high gain channel 3 modern for the high gain lead guitars. By the way, I also use the Zakk Cervini pack for the bass tone as well. Again, there's no post-processing or EQ here, so what you hear is just a Fender Precision bass played with a pick into one of these presets. So the guitar presets are very cool, of course, but I think these bass presets are the best ones I came across in a plugin yet. Some of them are more distorted and fuzzy, like this one. This one instead is cleaner and more scooped, so there's actually some variety in here. My favorite for this mix was the Royal Bass preset because of its thick low mids. So yeah, that's what I picked. Now I'll walk you through all the bass and guitar presets, starting from the Zakk Cervini pack and then moving on to the Mega Dual Rack and the SLO100 pack. I'll have to play the tracks in solo because some of these tones don't really fit the style and the mix. So yeah, it's better to understand how the tones sound like and then you'll decide what to place them on, of course. So let's start from the bass preset. Again, I think these bass presets sound great. They're pretty much mix ready and they will fit all your rock, indie and punk mixes, sometimes even metal mixes. I think the price of the pack is worth it just to get the bass presets alone, so lots of value in this one. Now let's move on to the Zakk Cervini guitar presets. So as you can hear, there's a lot of variety in the guitar tones as well. The Zakk Cervini pack gets a thumbs up from me. On to the Mega Dual Rack pack. Within this pack, I think there's a little less variation than the previous one. There's three main combinations of cabinet and microphones, and for each of these combinations you have all the channels and all the gain modes. So you have clean, mid gain, high gain for all the three channels in the dual rack. So yeah, you have the three main tones given by the cabinet and microphones, and then you have all the options that the dual rack allows you to dial in. This pack has 30 presets, whereas the Mega Dual Rack pack has 60, but I personally like this one a little bit better because I think it's more versatile, and I especially like the high gain and mid gain tones with the Bogner cabinet. Alright, so what do I think about these packs? The Zakk Cervini one is by far my absolute favorite among these three, and it's actually one of my favorite in the whole STL Tonehub preset pack series, so I highly recommend you to go check it out and pick it up. As for the other packs, the Mega Dual Rack actually has the same character of the real head, which I'm honestly not a huge fan of for modern high-gain rhythm guitar tones. I think it sounds great for like new metal crossover kind of stuff, but for modern tones I think it tends to be a bit too dark and mushy. So I kind of prefer to use cleaner sounding profiles and presets for my rhythm guitars, and then use this kind of more thick and dense tones for my additional guitars and octaves, so that they gel together the rhythm guitars with the rest of the mix. So maybe it's just not my taste for rhythm guitars, but it actually sounds like the real head, so if that's your cup of tea, then this pack will be perfect for you. Instead, the SLO100 pack has a lot of clean and crunch presets, so this will be great if you play a lighter genre of music, or if you just want your guitar tone to be very dynamic. So I hope this demo was helpful to you guys. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.